And it helps to have folks around you that understand and can buttress you and support you and cheer for you and help you navigate um, some of life's challenges. We know that we do this alongside you every day. The second piece of, I guess, a bit more practical advice would be read your emails. I know that today's style of communication is not sort of old school style, and I am aging myself here. But we typically don't communicate with you about important degree pursuit related information via social media or text. Sometimes we'll provide opportunities that are on our social media pages, but if Jasmine Maloney, if you can see her and she sends you an email, or if your program director or faculty mentor advisor sends you an email, you really need to be in contact with folks. It's a good way to touch base, to reach out and ask for specific supports. So those are my two pieces of advice. A little bit, I'll start this off a little bit about your cohort. So we have more than 30 students registered to start classes on Monday. Yes, Monday. They're great classes too. I've seen syllabi. I know who's teaching. I know the topics being taught. You are going to learn a ton and have fun while doing it. Missouri is our most represented state, which makes sense since we are in the heart of St. Louis. So we have 26 students from Missouri. We have a few from Illinois, Connecticut, Indiana, Nevada, Ohio, and Virginia. Most of our students come from the US, but not all. We have a student joining us from Ghana. More than half of our students, and Danny can correct me if I'm wrong, but for the first time, more than half of our incoming students in a cohort are selecting to learn online, to pursue their degree online for the first time. The majority of you identify as aspiring to be a clinician. So 25 of you are concentrating in clinical social work, 6 in community organization, and 3 in applied behavior analysis. We have students that span 4 decades in age. I'm not going to share with you which decades those are. Suffice it to say that some of us share the most experienced decade with you. And the majority, per usual, although we're trying to change this and we're making strides here. The majority of our incoming cohort identifies as female. So these are our helping professions. These are the careers that particularly St. Louis, but the world really needs right now at a time when you see higher education landscape changing. The degree programs that we offer, the training and the disciplinary expertise that we offer are those that continue to grow and continue to expand and continue to have real world impact on individuals, on kids, on families, on schools, on the healthcare system. So I am really grateful. I am thrilled that you've joined us. I'm giving you my seal of approval. If anyone's wondering why you've decided to turn your life around and do this or continue your trajectory, you've made the right decision. If nobody else has told you that today, and today's orientation, I think, will only serve to strengthen your knowledge that you are in the place you need to be, surrounded by the people who care and can help you get to that next goal. So without further ado, I am going to kick it off. We've got a number of program directors, faculty, staff, and other university resource leaders that are going to share some critical information with you. I know it's a jam-packed day. If you forget anything, there's a Canvas page. Reach out, make an entry to a new peer. Everyone's name is on this Zoom. So be in touch and stay in touch. Welcome. On behalf of us all, welcome to SLU's School of Social Work.
Thank you. I think are we going into faculty introductions? Sorry, Becca, did I take your thunder
Yeah,
there?
we sure are. We sure are. Thank you so much, Christy.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Christy Richter. I get to serve as the MSW program director. I am an assistant professor in the School of Social Work, and I'm really excited that you're all here too. So welcome. My walk-up song. So we have been asked to give a song that they would play if we were to walk out, at an event. What would be that? And I would say Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. Next.
Awesome. Thanks, Christy.
Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Wendy Ducasse. I'm the Director of Field Education, and I will be speaking with you all later this afternoon about practicum. I'm an assistant clinical professor as well. Some of you I will see in HPSI online next week. I'm very excited. And my walk-up song, gosh, I vacillate, but today I would say Hallelujah by Andy Grammer.
Hi, everyone. So nice to meet you. My name is Heather Lewis, and I am an associate clinical professor here in both our ABA program and also our MSW. So if you are online and in practicum or taking courses on ground or online in ABA, we'll get to hang out some. My walk-up song, similar to Wendy, it vacillates all the time, but I'd say anything 90s hip hop pretty much hits the mark. So today it's going to be Hypnotized by Biggie Smalls.
Awesome. Thanks, Heather. Brandy, you're up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to SLU. We are super excited to have you. My name is Brandy Maynard. I am a professor and the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. I teach mostly online. So if you're an online student, you will likely see me either in everyone's favorite course, the Research Methods and Evaluation course, or the Advanced Practice with Individuals course as well as what I teach. My walk-up song would be Titanium.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allison Gibson. I'm associate professor and I teach primarily in the clinical concentration. So I imagine I will see many of you at some point over the course of your studies. I also am our director of the gerontology certificate program. So if you have any interest in working with those that are aging, please get in touch with me. I'd love to chat with you about the certificate. It fits in nicely with your MSW program, and we should be able to get you through the certificate requirements without adding additional coursework for the most part. So I'm going to drop my email in the chat, but I imagine we'll have an informational session later this semester. I think for my walk-up song, I've been really enjoying Lawrence lately. So I think I'm going to do Lawrence, What You Want. Glad to see you all here and look forward to hearing more about you in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Jesse Helton, associate professor. If you're taking 5702 social policy, you're going to have that online with me starting Monday. I guess that's what the boss said, right? Classes start on Monday. So starting Monday. So I'm the community org concentration chair, but I'm brand new. But if you have any questions about that, come to me, and then I'll probably redirect someone else who knows what's going on. But I'll see you all at 1:30 with our little breakout session. So hope to meet you all there. Walk-up song, I guess, because I play this in the morning when my kids don't want to go to school. They get Sheep Go to Heaven by the band Cake. So we'll have that be my walk-up song today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eric Drays. I am one of a few counselors in student financial services. So I'll be having a session later, kind of going over the basics for that. So my walk-up song, it will probably be Higher by Creed. Always gets me going whenever I need a little pickup. So that would be it. But hope you guys have a great day and best of luck at your start at SLU.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Murphy, and I lead our end user services team here in the IT department at SLU. My walk-up song would be Happy by Pharrell Williams, and I'm happy to be here and see all of you.
And I'll follow up on that. I guess I'm Mike Holmes. I'm the Director of Academic Applications in ITS here at SLU. So my team helps support all of the software, Canvas, and things that you'll be using as you go through your courses here at SLU. I guess if I had to, I'm going to steal my walk-up song from a former SLU baseball player and say Strong Tower by Cutlass.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Hyde. I'm the librarian for the School of Social Work. I'll be talking to you later this morning, afternoon, about more about library research stuff. And now, Tim, I swear this is what I was going to say even before you went, but my walk-up song today is also going to be Happy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Floyd Welsh. I serve as Director of Career Services here at St. Louis University. Glad that you all are starting to be becoming part of our community. My walk-up song, bit old school, These Boots Are Made for Walking by Nancy Sinatra.
Nice. Good morning and happy Wednesday, or happy Thursday, everyone. My name is Danny Young. I'm the Director of Graduate Recruitment and Admissions here in the School of Social Work. I apologize for inundating you with so many emails, but I'm happy to see each of you here this morning and excited that you're joining the SLU community and the School of Social Work. My walk-up song is Beyonce's Formation.
Awesome. Thanks, Danny. My name is Becca Schultz. I am the Admissions and Marketing Program Coordinator here in the School of Social Work. I am also one of the hosts of today's orientation, and my walk-up song is probably Defying Gravity. Wicked is on repeat in my household right now, so gotta definitely represent with Defying Gravity. And next, we will have our other faculty and staff. Let's start with Jasmine. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, I am Jasmine Maloney. I am the Academic Program Coordinator for the School of Social Work. I've interacted with many of you to help get you registered for classes. So that's one of my main roles here at the university. And my walk-up song today is going to be a song called Double Wide by Gabrielle Rose.
Good morning,
Thanks,
all. Good morning, all. My name is Jessica Kilmaid. I'm the Business Manager and Executive Assistant here at the School of Social Work. Welcome to St. Louis University, to the School of Social Work. I work with you on your scholarships and all other business matters here in the school, so I look forward to working with you as well. And much like Danny, my walk-up song would be Beyonce's Formation, which might be why we work well together and also why we like to jam out so much. Have a great day. Congratulations.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shelby Tarkington. I am the admin assistant here for the School of Social Work. My walk-up song would be Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
Thanks, Shelby. Beth, we'll jump to you.
Great. Thanks, Becca. Hi, I'm Beth Barrett. I'm an associate clinical professor in the School of Social Work. I predominantly teach in the clinical concentration for social work. I'm also a faculty field liaison, so I may be working with some of you as you plan for your practicum. And I am teaching the Death, Dying, and Grief elective this semester, so it may come as no surprise that my walk-up song is Funeral for a Friend by Elton John.
Thanks, Beth. Joe, you're next.
Hi, my name is Joe Zletic. I am associate professor in the MACCJ program. Just echoing some of the other comments from some of the other faculty, please make sure you make use of all of the resources that are available to you on campus. And given that we are the best social work program in the world, my walk-up song will be Gangster's Paradise.
Good choice, Joe. Julie, you're next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie Birkenmeyer. I'm a professor in the School of Social Work, and I teach in the area of policy, and I teach community practice, and I also teach an elective on financial capability and asset building. And my walk-up song would be Freedom by John Baptiste.
Thanks, Julie. Lori?
Hi, everyone. I'm Laurie Blackhouse. I'm an assistant clinical professor in the School of Social Work. I teach mostly the foundational courses in the MSW program, as well as in the clinical program. So this semester, I will be teaching social work practice with individuals, families, and groups, which many of you will start with. So I hope to see you there. And anti-racism and social work practice, which is a new course we're excited about, as well as advanced clinical practice with individuals. So welcome you all. My go-to walk-up song is always Unstoppable by Sia.
Awesome. Thank you. And Rachel, I think you're our last faculty member.
My name is Rachel Crow. I'm an assistant clinical professor here in the School of Social Work. I'm also a field faculty liaison. So in your practicum, you might be working with me. I work with both BSSW students and MSW students. So I teach practicum and seminar for the BSSW students. And this semester I will be teaching 5700 Values and Ethics online. So if you're in that course, I'll see you in that course starting on Monday. Because I can't stop thinking of the ocean and the beach these days, my walk-up song is Walk on the Ocean by Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. We are going to move right along, and now we want to hear from you all. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so everyone can see each other, and we will just popcorn. We want to know your name, the program that you're starting, where you're from, and what your walk-up song would be. Let's go ahead and start with Alexis.
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. And I would say my walk-up song would be My House by Beyonce.
Awesome. Thanks, Alexis. Bianca?
Hi, my name is Bianca. Concentration would be clinical. I'm from St. Louis, and my walk-up song would be DTMF by Bad Bunny.
Awesome. Amy?
Hey, I am Amy. I am from St. Louis, and I think my walk-up song would be Applause by Lady Gaga.
Awesome. Thanks, Amy. Callista?
Hi, my name is Callista. I am specializing in clinical. My daughter has been very stuck on Moana, so we are very hooked on that right now. But personally, mine would probably be Wannabe from Spice Girls.
That's great. Thanks. Charlie?
My name's Charlie Ray. I'm from St. Louis. I'm in the clinical concentration, and an artist that I've been listening to a lot lately, I like him a lot, is Jonah Kagan. So I guess we'll go with Jonah Kagan, Don't Give Up on Me Yet.
Great. Thanks. Cora?
Hi, my name is Cora. My pronouns are they, them. I'm in the MSW online clinical program, and my walk-up song would be Pink Pony Club by Chappell Roan.
That's a good one. Grace?
I'm Grace. I'm in the clinical concentration. I'm from Dupo, Illinois, which is about 20 minutes from St. Louis. And my song, the first song I thought of at least, would be You're Gonna Go Far by Noah Kahn.
Awesome. Isabel?
Hi, I am Isabel. I'm originally from Kansas City, but I've been in St. Louis for almost 3 years now. And I am in the administration and policy concentration, and I think my song would be Mind Your Business by Lakia.
Good one. Juanita?
Hey, sorry, my internet was messing up, but hi everyone, my name is Juanita. I'm from St. Louis. I am in the clinical concentration on campus, and I would say right now, artist-wise, Leon Thomas.
So, thanks. Leah?
Hi, I'm Leah. I will be in the clinical concentration on campus. I'm from St. Louis, born and raised, and I love anything Andy Grammer. So whoever said that earlier, you already have my heart. Hallelujah is a good option. Yeah.
Thanks. Mary?
Hi, everybody. My name is Mary Schwartz. I am from Perryville, Missouri. I am doing the clinical online courses, and my walk-up song would probably be The Way I Are.
That's a good one. Melody?
Hey, I'm Melody. I'm from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and I am my concentration is in clinical social work. And I would say my walk-up song would be Hoist the Colors by the Wellerman.
Great. Mia?
Hi, my name's Mia. I'm from St. Louis. I am in the clinical online concentration. And I would say my walk-up song would be Femininomenon by Chapel Roan.
That's a great one. Mikey?
Hello, I'm Mikey Fine. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm in the clinical concentration, and my walk-up song would be Cocky by Megan Thee Stallion.
Awesome. Nellie?
Hi, I'm Nellie Beatty, and I'm from Carlisle, Illinois, which is like an hour away from St. Louis. I think maybe a little over from you guys, but I am in the online clinical concentration and happy to be here. And I think my walk-up song would be Silence by Marshmello. It's my all-time favorite song. I love dubstep, and I'm at 1. So
awesome. Thanks. Nafisa?
Hi, everyone. My name's Nafisa. I'm from Las Vegas. I'm attending the online MSW ABA program. My walk-up song, I think it would be At Last by Etta James. That's what I'm going to sing when I finish my graduate school. So,
awesome. Thank you. Rachel?
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm in the ABA concentration. And I would say either Homesick by Noah Kahan because I'm from New England, or Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain.
So, thank you. Shakita?
Hello, I am originally from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Roll Tide, but I now live in St. Louis. I am taking the online clinical program, and my walkout song will be Heated by Beyonce.
Great. Thank you. Shanae? All right. We will skip over you if you want to put your song in the chat, as well as your name and program and where you're from. And we will move on to Teresa.
Hello, my name is Teresa. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I am enrolled in the clinical online, and my walk-up song would be DJ Khaled, All I Do Is Win.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So the reason why we asked you all for your walk-up songs is because we are going to create a spring 2025 cohort playlist on Spotify, and all of your songs will be on there. I will send it out to you after orientation. So when you're studying for midterms and finals, you'll have something to study to and rock out to while you're doing it.
It looks like we have Elsie from Ghana who just joined us. Elsie, can you hear us?
Hi, I'm on.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, my name is Elsie from Ghana. I'm currently here in St. Louis, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Monday.
Thank you so much, Elsie.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, we are going to move right along into our next session. Our Information Technology Services team is going to present to us. I am going to let you all share your screens. There you go.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Tim Murphy, and I'm very glad to be here to talk to you a little bit about some of the services that we offer here in our IT team. One quick story I just wanted to let you know, as I was thinking about my walk-up song and envisioning walking up to the podium to talk to you guys here if we were in our one of our lecture halls, just scratch the first lyrics from Happy by Pharrell, because it says, "It might be crazy what I'm about to say." So it has a great beat, but those first lyrics may not be correct. Um, so again, we're very glad to be here. And there's just one thing. So we've got a couple slides Mike and I are going to walk through today. One thing that if you take away one thing from our presentation today, just know that we have a lot of very talented people on our team here that are ready and willing to help you with any technical issues. And so Mike will, a little later in our presentation, walk through some of the different options you have to contact us. Make sure to take that information down. If you have any questions after this, feel free to reach out. And we have some great folks here that will be ready and willing to assist. All right. So real quick, what we'll be talking about today, cyber safety is a big thing here at St. Louis University, and personally for you to protect your digital identity. We'll be talking a little bit about that. We'll talk about your digital identity while you're here at SLU and some things that'll be important to you. How to get help with technology. We'll talk about some software and hardware discounts that are available to you as a SLU student, and how to get connected to our network and also use the printing that we have here on campus. So first of all, from a security perspective, no staff member, faculty member, no one in the IT department will ever ask you for your password or your MFA token. That's MFA stands for multi-factor authentication. So those things are all personal to you. If you ever have someone asking you for that, something is probably off, and I would highly suggest that you use one of the support options to call and just notify us and let us take a look and make sure that that everything is okay and safe. So just some tips, and this is tips to not only help protect you here at St. Louis University, but also in your personal life. So just stay alert from a cyber perspective. If you see something, say something, let us know. Again, call one of our support options, let us know. Phishing. So just be very cautious with your email. If you do see something that seems too good to be true, don't click on the link. It more than likely is some type of scam. And again, let us know. Those are things that we can help protect the rest of the university if you find something and let us know in advance. From a password perspective, this goes here at SLU and then also in your personal life. Just make sure that your passwords are complex. Simple passwords without special characters in upper and lower case. The bad actors today are very good at cracking those, and they can crack those in seconds. The more complex that you make it, the much harder it is to get entry to your accounts. Device management, so phones, tablets, laptops, anything that you have, please accept the auto updates on those. Those auto updates not only come with new features and functionality for you, but they also come with critical security updates that will also help protect you in the university. And then again, ask for assistance. We are here to help. Some of the information there is at the bottom of that slide, but Mike will also talk a little bit more detail in how you can contact us. From an account security perspective, we use Okta which is a multi-factor authentication tool, which basically just is a second form of identification. The password portal for that is auth.slu.edu. You can go there and that will, you can configure your device. And if you need any assistance with that, call us. We still have these options on the multi-factor authentication for calling via your cell and texting via your cell. But I crossed those out because in February, we're going to be making some changes along with other universities where those will no longer be options and you will have to use the Okta Verify app. So the screenshot on the right there is what you will see on your device when you are logging in. And all you have to do is say, yes, it's me, and then it will allow you to pass through to whatever application or service you're doing. One thing to note is if you're ever sitting at home eating dinner, and let's say that you use your phone for this, you get a message that says, hey, let's verify that you just tried to log into something and you have not. Do not accept it. That would be like handing a bad guy the keys to your front door so that they could walk in. And I would highly suggest that you let us know. So give us a ring and let us know date, time, maybe even take a screenshot of it, and we will go do some investigation and try to figure out how and why that happened. All right, a little bit about your student digital identity. So you all will have a banner ID, which is a 9-digit number that's unique to you and will follow you as your life as a student here at St. Louis University. You also will have a SLUnet ID. That SLUnet ID is your username to log into systems like MySLU. If you're here on campus and you're logging into any shared university computers, it is how you will access and log on to our Wi-Fi and some of the library resources that you have access to. You will have an Office 365 email address that is normally in the form of firstname.lastname@slu.edu. You have access to all of the Microsoft resources. So that includes Word, PowerPoint, Teams, all of the Excel, all of the applications that are there. Those, if you're buying a device and they're trying to sell you a Microsoft Office license, while you're here, you don't need it. You will be able to access that through our MySLU resources. You also have access to the entire Google resources, Google Drive, Google Hangouts, Sites, and that uses your SLUnet ID, which is how you log in at slu.edu as the address to get in. All right, real quick, the best way to access all of the applications that you have access to is through myslu.slu.edu. That is where you can access the Microsoft 365 resources, the Google resources that we talked about, Canvas, which is your learning management system, Panopto, which is used by some instructors for lecture capture, Zoom for web conferencing, Banner self-service, which is where you'll have information related to you as a student here. And then also there's an application called Handshake that's for some student employment here on campus and with other vendors that we work with. All right, at this time, I am going to hand things over to Mr. Mike Holmes, and Mike is going to talk to you a little bit more about some of our service options. Mike.
All right, thanks, Tim. Like I said, my name is Mike Holmes. Our team supports a lot of the tools that you'll be using and software you'll be using in the classroom. So I think one of the most important things that you can take away is that website there, ask.slu.edu. That is sort of your gateway to any sort of online documentation or information that you might need about different systems. So if you remember that URL, that will get you in the doorway and help you get your questions answered. There are a couple things on that page. One of the things you'll see is if there are going to be any system outages or there are anything or updates or maintenance windows, those will be notifications will be out on this page. So if you are having access issues with things, it's the first place to check and see if it's related to an outage that's campus-wide or an update or an upgrade. So you'll see those notifications there. Like I said, there's the knowledge base you can search to try to find answers and help you solve your own problems. And then there's also that option there to report an issue. So if you're having issues either logging in or you don't have access to a system that you feel like you should, or some other technical issue, you can easily report an issue there from that link. That comes into our help desk, and then they will make sure that it gets directed to the appropriate team that can help you get your issue resolved. So remember that, if nothing else from our slides today. Go ahead, Tim. If you are on campus, so I know many of you are remote, but if you are going to be on campus, we do have a few drop-in places where students can go and get support with people there. And so you see there are locations both on North Campus, South Campus, and then at the law school, which most of you probably will not ever need to use. But in the Pius Library, as soon as you walk in the main entrance there, you'll see there's a student technology desk. And so they can help resolve some of those issues in person. And there's just a lot of other resources throughout the Academic Technology Commons that's there in the library. So some of the things we have is there's 3D printing. We have a print center. So if you need to print anything for, display boards or things for classes or presentations, you can do those as well. We also have print stations there for just printing your regular printing needs. And a couple of the other cool things we have is there's a lot of study spaces, either group or for single use, that you can reserve and walk up and just use those spaces. And we have a recording studio now. So we have students, some of those used in classes, some students want to use it to record podcasts or things like that. So it's available to all students to sign up and get some time in the recording studio as well. All right, go to the next slide, Tim. Again, this is just sort of, Tim mentioned before, you can also call in. Those are our phone lines. So maybe if you're having issues kind of outside of regular hours, you can call. You can see the hours that we're staffed there. So it's into the evening in some cases. And so then we also have our hours at those 3 locations that I talked about earlier. So you can see during the day, you can stop in the library and we'll have staff there available. Tim mentioned there's software, hardware, and discounts. If you did your other grad at other schools, these are similar to what you may have seen at some of those schools. So there's just software that you can get discounts on since you are a SLU student. Tim already mentioned that you get some of those Microsoft cloud tools like Office and EndNote. Those are just available to you as a student as part of your authentications that we saw before. But there are also some other packages that you may need to use if you're doing some of your research work. There's SAS and SPSS and those things. So there is a link that you can go and find those. We also have hardware discounts. So if you're looking to purchase a new laptop or desktop, we have both discounts for Apple and Dell, and those links are there as well. All right, so for those of you that will be on campus, obviously there is a wireless network that covers all of the classrooms, res halls, and facilities on campus. With your student credentials, you'll be able to log in. There's a SLU users Wi-Fi network that you can use. It does require your SLUnet ID and password. So once you have those and you're available to get those, if you have any visitors or guests or other maybe friends or students from other campuses, we do provide the SLU Guest and Eduroam. So Eduroam is a network that a lot of different universities provide, so they can log on with their own credentials onto Eduroam if like I said, if you have students or friends that are visiting you. All right, printing on campus. So printing, the way that printing works is you will be given some print credits for each term that you can use to print your pages. We do have black and white and color printing, and you can, of course, purchase additional credits on your own if you need to print more than that. You can print wirelessly from your laptop. You can do it from your phone, different devices. You just need to make sure you have the app on those devices to do that. So you'll send your print job to the printer, and then you can go to one of the 30 different stations around campus. You'll scan your card, and then you can print from there. So there are printers in the library, there are printers in the Bush Student Center, there are printers around a lot of the academic buildings as well. So you can send your print job and then go pick it up at any one of those locations. And so, like we said before, you know, we're here to help. Again, I think that Ask.SLU is kind of your gateway to get there. If you need some more immediate or real-time help, there is a help desk that you can call and help get your issues resolved sort of more immediately. There's chat available, so if you don't want to call in or are not able to call in, you can use that online chat feature, again, from that Ask.SLU website. And if you have something that is an issue, but it's not a real urgent one, you can use that ask.slu.edu email. That will create a ticket and it'll go into the queue for you to get a response back from the appropriate group. And with that, I think that is sort of sums everything. Right there at this last slide, it sort of shows you how to access everything, whether it's via phone, email, or on the website. And we're happy to help. So if you ever have any questions or concerns with technology, feel free to reach out.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Welcome to St. Louis University.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Alrighty, we are going to move right along into our next session, School of Social Work Systems and Resources. Can everybody see my screen okay? Awesome. All right, so IT already touched on this a little bit, but you will be using Canvas to access your courses. It is found in your SLU apps, and there's also a Canvas student mobile app that you are able to use. I highly recommend downloading it if you are going to be looking at things on your phone. It's much easier to navigate Canvas through that mobile app than through the Safari app. Some of the key features in Canvas are your account. When you log in, you'll be able to add a profile picture and update your notification settings. Please, please, please update your notification settings. You will want to be getting notified when a announcement is made by your professors, whenever assignments are due. There's lots of different notification types that you can set up. So please go into your notification settings and play around with them. Your dashboard is where you'll be able to see all the courses in tile formats. Any course that you're registered for should show up there. If you don't see your course on your dashboard, you can email us and we will look into it and figure out why that is happening. You also have a calendar. You can set up to-do lists in your calendar. So if you have a big essay or a project coming up and you have drafts due and peer review due, you can set up those items in your calendar so that you have just an extra reminder in Canvas for you. You also have an inbox where you can message your instructor as well as your classmates via Canvas. Of course, you can email them through Outlook, but you can also message them directly in Canvas. I do recommend reading your syllabi in Canvas within your courses. Typically, that is where your instructors will list their preferred method to be contacted. But all of that can be found within Canvas, and everyone should be in Canvas. We added you all to a SSW resources page. Every student should have access to that. It's got all of your handbooks, which you've hopefully looked at before today. It's also got other important information about resources and job opportunities and things going on around campus, events, all the good stuff that you need to know will be posted on that SSW resources page that lives in Canvas. Are there any questions about Canvas before I move on? I see one in the chat. I only see one class in Canvas. Is that okay? If you are registered for one class, then that is what you should see. If for some reason you're registered for a different class and it's not up yet, go ahead and email us. In fact, okay, you're registered for 4 classes. Go ahead and email us. I will drop in the person's email that will be able to assist you in the chat. So Jasmine Maloney, she was on the call earlier. She is our academic program coordinator. She helps with all course issues and questions. So she'll be the one that can help you figure out why you don't see your classes in Canvas. All right, moving right along. There are some other helpful mobile apps that you might want to download. They're also in that My SLU apps dashboard that IT was talking about earlier. And those are EAB Navigate. That's where you'll do a lot of appointment scheduling. If you're trying to get an appointment with your advisor, you can do so through EAB Navigate. Outlook, of course, is where you're going to be doing all of your emailing. Park Mobile, if you're coming onto campus and you don't want to park in the garage, you can use this Park Mobile app and do street parking in anywhere in St. Louis. This e-reader is, it's kind of where your textbooks will be if they're using a digital copy of the book. And then our athletic app, you'll find all of the upcoming basketball games and soccer games and all the things Billiken athletics related on this app. Again, all of these things are located in your My SLU app dashboard, but I do recommend downloading them specifically to your mobile device. And lastly, some other helpful SLU websites. IT talked about this earlier, but you do have the ability to print on campus. This is just a website and QR code directly to the Billiken Print page that talks a little bit more in depth about the printing services available here at SLU. Our shuttle service, this can be found on your My Apps dashboard as well, but the direct link is right here for you. You're interested in campus life on SLU, there's a direct link, and then just more information about all the academics at SLU as well. Any questions before we move on? All righty, Danny, take it away.
Right, so thank you, Becca. Really quickly, can I get a thumbs up from everyone just to make sure you're still engaged? I know it's a lot of information being shared with you, but thumbs up. Perfect, thank you. So I am going to run through my 2 slides really quickly because a lot of the information has been sent to you via email, and also we're going to send reminders as well. But really quickly, within the School of Social Work, you have a pretty dynamic and awesome support system. Becca and I have been your point of contacts throughout the application and admissions process. But now that you are enrolled students, we are connecting you to our student affairs team now. And so orientation is our way of essentially passing the baton to your program director, to your faculty advisors, and your professors. We will always be here for you. And please feel free to stop in the admissions office if you're local and on campus. Absolutely feel free to stop in. We love to have visitors. So just please know that we're always here for you, but we are passing the baton to our student affairs team now. Really quickly, I wanted to encourage everyone to make sure you build positive relationships with the folks listed here on this screen. By now, you should have already, well, you know who your program director is, Professor Christy Richter. All of you have had an advising session with her already to get registered for classes. If you have any questions or concerns about the curriculum or the program, you should definitely connect with Professor Richter. If you have any questions about anything in the student handbook, if you have not read the handbook, make sure you do. But if you have any questions about anything in the student handbook, please connect with Professor Richter. If you have any leave of absence requests, if you are having issues with a professor, if you have any questions about the concentrations or specializations, please connect with Professor Christy Richter. And as a courtesy, if you need to meet with Professor Richter, please feel free to set up a meeting with her. But I would not encourage you just to drop by her office. Please try to schedule a meeting with her if you need to get in contact with Professor Richter. Also, you will be assigned a faculty advisor. So our academic coordinator, Jasmine Maloney, will assign you a faculty advisor. This person will be someone that you will check in with, that you can schedule a meeting with as a current student. They're going to help you navigate your educational and career goals. They will be the person that you connect with if you need to add or drop classes, and they will be there in place to provide mentorship to you as well, and address any academic concerns you have. So your faculty advisor will be assigned to you, and I would say in the coming weeks. So make sure you're definitely looking at the emails you received from Jasmine Maloney. The Director of Field Education, you will hear from Dr. Wendy Ducasse later. Our business manager you met earlier, Jess Kilmott. If you have any questions about your scholarships or billing, Jess will be your point of contact as well. And admissions and marketing, that's myself and Becca. We also have a wonderful administrative assistant, Shelby Tarkington. So if you're local and on campus, you will find Shelby at the front desk. So she's a great resource if you have any questions about setting an appointment or just any general questions. Shelby is a great resource. I also wanted to highlight that we have some student organizations within the School of Social Work. Particularly, we have the MSW Student Association. So they help organize and design and foster a community within the School of Social Work for MSW students. They help advocate for your needs as an MSW student. So you are automatically all a part of the MSW Student Association. If you are interested in serving in the leadership capacity in the MSW Student Association, please feel free to contact Professor Beth Barrett. Professor Barrett is the advisor to the MSW Student Association. So if you're interested in serving in the leadership capacity, definitely connect with Professor Barrett. But they do awesome things on campus. They host town hall meetings, they host social events, and they really help drive the community within the School of Social Work. Also consider joining some national organizations like the National Association of Social Workers, and then also the National Association of Black Social Workers. So I would definitely encourage you to make sure you become members of those professional organizations as well. Just to reiterate, be sure to look at your student handbook. Everything you need to know in terms of the program requirements is listed in the student handbook. So please make sure you familiarize yourself with the handbook. It is found on our website, the School of Social Work's website, and I believe it also is linked through Canva. The student handbook will list things such as the grading policy, leave of absence process, the protocol for grievances, and then the academic expectations. So again, before classes start, please make sure you review the student handbook. So we're going to go to the next slide. So university resources, for the sake of time, I will actually, you'll get one final email from myself, and I will actually break down each of these organizations for you. But these are university resources that are available to you as a SLU student. You've already heard from our IT department. You'll hear from Career Services after our brief break. But please make sure that you take advantages of the resources that we have within that are offered through SLU, particularly the writing services. They are always available to connect with you to help you improve your writing. So again, I will send one final email from the admissions team, and I will outline each of these university resources for you, and then the contact information should you want to take advantage of these resources. With that being said, I know we have a break scheduled. So I would say I want to make sure we give you guys a break. So I would say we're going to take a 3-minute break, but please go ahead and make sure you report back by, 11:08, so that we can hear from our Career Services Representative Floyd Welsh. So we're going to take a break right now. Hey, Floyd,
Hello,
how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for
Good to see
filling
you.
in for Lauren.
Yes, I'm happy to.
We're just a few minutes behind schedule, so students will be dialing in or joining us momentarily.
Great.
All right, so please direct your attention to our next presenter. Please go ahead and You can show your videos, but we're going to get started here in about a minute. I know we just came back from break. We'll give it another minute, and then Floyd, we'll turn it over to you. Okay?
Great.
If you're back, please go ahead and turn your camera on so that we know who's back. Right, Floyd, feel free to go ahead and get started.
Okay, great. So as I said before, my name is Floyd. I'm Director of Career Services, and I'm meeting with you today because our traditional person who liaisons with the School of Social Work resigned from her position about 3 days ago. So we'll have a person that's designated to work with you all in the system. And in the meantime, I'm happy to meet with you today. Going to try to talk a bit about what we do, the kind of services we offer, and then just touch a little bit on professionalism. I know you're all are grown adults, but sometimes there can still be a bit of a transition into the higher ed environment and then the post higher ed environment of whatever your career goals where they take you as well. So career services, we're a pretty busy office. Last year we met at least one time with over 5,000 of the SLU students, undergrads and graduate students. We had almost 800 employers come to campus to meet with students or meet with them virtually last year. And we review a lot of documents. So we reviewed over 10,000 resumes and cover letters. And our reviews, that's based on some of our standards that we have, how to talk about your degree program, use the full formal name of your degree program, for example, and what industry tells us they want to see. So what do employers expect to see in those kind of documents? So one of the first areas that we offer services is one-on-one career counseling. So as I told you, one of our staff members will be designated as your career counselor that you would see in the Navigate 360 app. And that person that you can make appointments with. During those one-on-one appointments, it can be anything from just making a plan of where you see your career development going. We also offer assessments. So if you're not quite sure, what am I going to do with this great degree that I have, or how do I fit within the world of work? Where am I likely to feel comfortable? So we do the Myers-Briggs type indicator as well as the strong interest inventory, which might give you a little more insight into how your personality and your interests fit in with the world of work. And then we also give support through, internship and job search process, as well as discussing any other graduate school options that you might be interested in. I mentioned before that we do a lot of document reviews. If you meet one-on-one with a career counselor or send that to them via email even, you'll get personalized feedback about suggestions for improvement. If you meet in person, a lot of times that's a much more dynamic way of reviewing your document, allowing that person to ask you questions. What are you, why is this important? Why is this on your resume? And maybe bolster and make that more clear to the readers that might be out there. Don't always have to have an appointment to have that kind of experience. If you have access to campus, we have drop-ins each day, Monday through Friday, when classes are in session from 3:30 to 4:30 in our main location. But you can also always upload documents through Handshake or send it directly to a career staff member as well. As I mentioned, job and internship search is a lot of what we do. So what are specific strategies that you might implement? How to use Handshake. So Handshake is our database for SLU students, and it also has a lot of career resources in there as well. It's kind of like LinkedIn, but it's a closed network where employers have to be approved to be on the platform. So we do our best to try to eliminate any of the nefarious people that are trying to steal your information, for example. And there's currently about 100,000 employers. They typically post about 30,000 full-time jobs and 90,000 internships each year targeting SLU students across all of the majors. We'll help with LinkedIn. We can do profile reviews, also offer some tips and suggestions for that. We offer a lot of networking opportunities. Many times an employer will come to campus and they'll want to meet with certain types of students or students who have certain interests, and we do our best to try to group those students. We have a lot of online resources. And then we also work with a lot of professional organizations. We'll come to their meetings and bring speakers to campus, for example, as well. I mentioned Handshake. So Handshake, your profile is automatically created once you have registered for classes, and we get that information from the registrar. There's been some delay with that for new students this spring semester, and we've been working with the technical team to try to get that fixed, but hopefully that will be resolved as soon as classes start. But once you have access to the platform, you can complete your profile. And once you have access on that platform, it's for life. Once you have finished a degree program from SLU, you have access to career services for life. And that's how we make appointments with our alums. We do virtual appointments within the Handshake platform itself, and alums are able to make those appointments. Another great tool is a platform called Big Interview. So Big Interview will use your webcam. And if you enable AI feedback, it will give you a score about your eye contact. It will give you feedback on your vocabulary, how many times you might say or like. And if it detects those things, then it's going to suggest a tutorial video of strategies of how to work on those things. And then you can repeat that same online interview and see if your score improves. And we have some students that will do 50 to 60 mock interviews, and they'll watch 70 to 80 videos, trying to really improve their interview skills. For international students or people that might be looking at working abroad, we have a platform for that called InnerStride. You can create a free account there just using your SLU email address. We also have Focus 2, which is a platform that lets you do some self-guided career exploration. Again, there's a personality assessment, there's an interest inventory, and it matches again up against the world of work and gives students suggestions. And again, that's a free service. You would use your SLU email again to create that account. And then we record a lot of the videos and workshops that we do. So for asynchronous learners, we have a library of asynchronous workshops as well. We do a lot of events. Our events, they're always posted in Handshake. If you create a profile in Handshake and you answer some of the questions, it'll even filter those and make suggestions of events that might be of particular interest to you. We conduct career expos, so large-scale career fairs each semester. The next one will be coming up in February. February 19th is the next expo. And that's open to undergrads and graduate students. As I mentioned before, we host a lot of networking events. We do workshops. We can even host on-campus interviews that recruiters will come to campus and conduct interviews. And when possible, we have an on-campus job fair. I mentioned the mock interviews. We also do those one-on-one. That's an appointment type that you can make with a career counselor. And again, much more individualized. If there's something that you're particularly working on, the counselor can try to create that scenario. If anybody becomes too familiar with your given designated career counselor, you can always switch up and meet with one of the other counselors or myself, for example, to help give you the opportunity to make as real of a mock interview as possible. Our goal is always to have you have your absolute worst interview on campus with one of us. We don't want that to happen to you out there in the real world. So again, that's why Big Interview is a great resource. Any of your recordings that you make, you can share that URL like a YouTube, so that other people can give you feedback as well. And for the faculty that might be online still, we can create class assignments where the faculty member can even record the questions that they want to see asked, and students can go on and answer those. And then it actually has a feedback portal as part of the portal as well. So Big Interview is a great tool if interviewing is something that you want to work on. The other thing that I was asked to touch on is professionalism. And I would say many times professionalism, it doesn't mean that you have to become stuffy or overly, stoic. I personally, I don't take myself very seriously, but I take my work with students very seriously. But yet I still want to always make sure that I'm being respectful of other people's time and their efforts. So why we want to talk about this is because just like this event, our faculty and staff put in a lot of effort to try to make your experience at SLU go really well. So read the handbooks, know who to talk to, reach out via email, and make sure you're doing that in a very respectful manner. So you are kind of bridging that gap between being a student, but also a professional, a budding professional. Many of you may probably be working full time or have worked full time in the past, but basically a lot of it is just about being respectful of other people, paying attention in class, following through, meeting deadlines, read the syllabus, and make sure you're paying attention to those directions as much as possible, in whatever format that takes for you, making notes, etc. And it's always something that it's good to practice while you're here, again, because once you're out in the real world, that being prepared for that transition. We hear from employers way too often that students don't seem prepared for the environment, the professional work environment. So practicing that as much as possible. So every interaction you have with someone is an opportunity to be professional. Another way I like to look at this is building that social capital. So is that professor more likely to give me a break when I really need it if I've turned things in late or I'm not paying as much attention as I should in class? Building up that positive social capital is important. Participate in class, ask questions, doing all of that is important. So before I send out an email, do I make sure that, I'm sending it to the right people? Is my subject line appropriate? Does my salutation have a professional tone, avoiding text language or slang, and always making sure that I've attached the correct attachment. I tend to always double check anytime I send an attachment because there's way too many things on my computer. But, always important, also good idea to reread your email before you send it, because especially your instructors and your professors, they're going to serve as references for you. So if they know that you are somebody who communicates well in a professional manner, they're going to be able to speak on your behalf and provide testimonial to that. So an example of what could happen if you're not paying attention, and this is an actual example from one of the boards from one of our professional organizations. This student thought she had attached a resume and she actually had attached that awful picture of Nicolas Cage. So hopefully that wouldn't happen to you. But one thing I do catch with students, a lot of times they may attach the wrong version of their resume. So always be careful, how you create that file name for your resume and make sure, is there a date that I put in it so I know it's the most current version of my resume? If it's targeting a certain kind of industry, make sure that I know that I'm sending it to the right people. And again, when you're addressing your faculty members or other staff, people here at the university, something like this would probably not be the best way to communicate. It's a lot of times it's better to err on the side of being professional and formal rather than too casual. Very understanding. Any one of your faculty members, I know that they're going to be very understanding of what's going on in your life, but this may not be the best way, to express that. So probably a better way is something like this, where you're addressing them by their title, or what they've invited you, how they've invited you to address them, and very direct. You know, I'm having a problem with number 4, and letting them know your name and which class you're in. Especially if you know they're teaching multiple classes, it's always helpful for you to indicate which class you're speaking about for them as well. But I would also say my other side note on this is, did I look at the syllabus first? Is there a way that I can find out how to deal with this from the syllabus versus immediately going to asking in an email? Again, creating good social capital with faculty members and staff members by reading that syllabus. And just in general, be mindful of your social media that's out there. Recruiters tell us all the time, and I would say probably above 80%, if you're dealing with a recruiter, the first thing they're going to do is Google your name or look for you on LinkedIn. And hopefully the first thing that would come up would be your LinkedIn profile, or very positive presence online. But many times the first thing a recruiter does is they're gonna Google. So even having that your LinkedIn URL on your resume helps direct them directly to your preferred social media account. Sometimes we get into a little bit about professional dress. When you're getting ready for your interview times or when you're meeting with somebody in a networking environment, it's always good to have, at least that one go-to outfit that I have where I feel I'm giving a very professional image of myself. And again, being prepared for that, your body language, making good eye contact, treat everything as if it is an interview situation. What that might look like, again, being respectful of anyone's gender, how they want to present their gender if they wish. But, being a little more conservative is better. We have a lot of students that might show up to our career fairs and they look like they just came from the gym. That may not be the best first impression you want to give to any given employer. So just being mindful that if I know I'm going to an important appointment or an important meeting, I have an outfit that will give me the best chance to be professional. So our office, we're located on the ground floor of Griesdeck Hall, the tallest residence hall on campus. We just had a fire alarm in here, actually. And we're here Monday through Friday, typically 8:30 to 5. Again, our drop-ins are 3:30 to 4:30. Appointments can be scheduled through Navigate 360 or by calling our front desk at 977-2828 is another way to get an appointment scheduled. As I had mentioned, our designated counselor for the School of Social Work, she had recently resigned. So right now, our temporary person is Allie Fruing, and her email is still with her maiden name, Alexandria Bernier. But hopefully soon the registrar's office will get you assigned to her within Navigate 360. We have a lot of stuff that we do on our social media accounts, primarily our Instagram account. In our Instagram account, we even have employers take that over. So if you have wondered what it would be like to work with Mercy, for example, this would be a chance. They took over our account and had a number of employees talk about what it's like to work at Mercy and how they got there as well. So those are my slides. Are there any questions that anyone has? I see one in the chat. Yeah, your Handshake account is created automatically based on that data upload from the registrar. We don't create manual accounts. So you just have to be patient. If you are having any further issues, you can always contact us at career_services@slu.edu. But we are having an issue with new spring 2025 students getting their Handshake accounts created. Anyone else with any question? Okay. Well, I will stop my share.
Thank you so much, Floyd. All right, we will move on to our library services presentation with Rebecca.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you again. I'm just going to drop a few things in the chat, a link to my presentation, as well as kind of an overview of some resources, and then I'm going to share my screen and get started. Just bear with me for a moment. Okay. I'm hoping everyone can see the presentation. Let me know if you can't. But again, like I said this morning, my name is Rebecca Hyde. I'm the librarian for the School of Social Work. So that includes all of the programs in the school, social work, ABA, criminology, criminal justice. So whatever class you happen to find yourself in during your time in the program, I'm your contact in the library. And today I'm just going to give you kind of an overview of some of the things that we offer, how to get resources, how to get in touch with me and get help. If you are in Social Work 5750 with either Professor Morrison or Professor Brockhouse, I'll be coming to your class virtually or in person next Thursday. No, is that the 23rd? January 23rd, I guess that's 2 weeks from today. So I'll talk a little more in depth about the resources that you'll be using in the program then, but today I kind of want to just give you a general overview. Let's see, here we go. So I'm your number one resource. There's all kinds of different resources, but I'm here to help you succeed in the program, to get access to all of the research resources that you need, as well as to kind of understand that process of research. So in your time here, whether or not I come into your class, you are always welcome to get in touch with me and ask me questions. I help students kind of figure out what database they should be using, where should they be searching for the information they need. I help them kind of create their search strategies to find the right kinds of articles. I kind of help them understand what kinds of things they should be looking for. So whatever your questions are, even if you're not sure if I can help, please feel free to reach out and I can help you where I can or refer you to someone else who can help. But in general, if you're struggling with those research assignments, then I'm a good person to reach out to. And I can help you over email. I also make appointments via phone or online via Zoom, whatever works best for you, or in person as well. Sorry, I should have mentioned or in person. There's a link on this slide to my appointment calendar where you can log in. You don't have to log in. Sorry, you can go to there and you can choose either in person or online, make an appointment. One thing is that I do not have any evening or early morning appointments on here because I don't want to open those up to all of the students that I serve, but I know that all of you probably have competing responsibilities and that sometimes those evening or early morning hours are the best times for you. And if that's the case, please reach out and let me know and we can set something up. I'm happy to meet with students in your position during those kind of off times. So just because you don't see it there doesn't mean I won't meet with you then. Just let me know. I'm not willing to stay at work till 7 for undergraduates who are here all day, but I know that's not the case for all of you. So just let me know. Let's see. Okay, so in addition to me as someone who can help you with those library resources, we also have a chat that's available 7 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. So, whether I am out of town or if it's just, 11 p.m. and I am already asleep, but you have a question, this chat is a great resource, especially for those things that you need help with before you move on. Like when you start looking for scholarly literature, looking for journal articles, and maybe you run into a problem where you can't find the full text of it, that doesn't require someone who knows anything about, your program or what you're looking for. So this chat is a great place to go, whether it's like for a question like that, finding the full text, or you just need a little bit of help getting started before you can actually get in touch with me. I encourage you to use this resource. And This is also, I'm going to show you what our website looks like in a minute, but this is a great place too to go if you don't remember who I am or you're not sure where to go. This chat is available like on the library's homepage and really on most of our pages. These virtual portals, I know there's really only those first three, I think, that really apply to those of you here, but these are the portals to everything the library offers. So we have our main library homepage, which you can get to everything through, but it includes really everything. And we have like hundreds and hundreds of databases, whereas that social work guide and ABA guide really narrows things down. So you're just getting the list of things that apply to you. And there may be occasions during your time here that you need things that aren't on those pages, but I wanted to kind of give you, even though it can seem overwhelming at times, and I wanted to kind of give you a way that you can get to just the things that are relevant to your programs. And I do encourage you to go ahead and bookmark these pages, any that seem relevant to you now or in the near future. If you are off campus, you can still get access to all of our electronic resources. We do have a physical library with physical books, but most of the things that you need that the library has, you'll be able to access from wherever you live online. Whenever you go into the library resources, either through that library's homepage or through that social work or ABA page, you will get a login screen that looks like this popping up. It will ask you to log in, and you just use your same login that you use for every other SLU login. So for your Canvas page, your email, you'll put in that same email, that same login, and you'll get that Okta prompt that you may have seen already where you have to do that two-step authentication. So it works the same way for the library login. If you ever have trouble with this, please let me know. The actual login and everything is controlled by IT. So I might end up suggesting that you go through that IT help desk if there's an issue, but let me know and we can always troubleshoot what's going on to figure out if there's something else. Occasionally, there might be issues with off-campus access. And I should mention, like one of the things that I think a lot of students do is when, all of us really, right, are used to, we see something that might be useful. Maybe you have a journal article citation that a professor gave you, and it's really easy just to Google that, right, and pull it up. And a lot of times when you do that for like scholarly articles or databases, you're going to get to a page that is from that journal or that database, but it won't give you access. But if you go in through the SLU Library's website, then you'll have access to everything that we pay for. And I want to make sure that you're using those things that we pay for you to have the best experience. And let's see, maybe I mentioned this later, but I can't remember now if I have a slide about it, so I'm going to mention it now. One thing is that we have something called interlibrary loan. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that kind of service, but basically what that does is give you access to anything that we don't already pay for. So if you need a journal article or a book chapter for your for any of your programs or research, then you can request that via interlibrary loan, and you'll get that for free. For articles and chapters, you'll get them digitally, usually in 24 to 48 hours. So I just want you to remember, never pay for any article that you need for class or your research while you're here at SLU, or even just for fun. If you come across something for something non-social work related, but it's a scholarly article you would have to pay for, you can request that through interlibrary loan if we don't already have it. So whether you ask me about it or you go into chat, as long as you just remember there is a way to get everything for free, just remember that. I don't want you paying like $30 for any random articles while you're here at SLU. Like that's something that we will provide you with. Okay. So this slide is just our library's homepage. I didn't want to do anything live that was going to take longer, but I would just want you to get an idea of what things look like. This is the portal that gives you access to everything that we have through the library. Over on that left-hand column, you can see there is the little chat box. So that's where you can go and ask any of those questions via chat. Then, excuse me. Those boxes along the top will take you to different places. So this one shows you what it looks like when you click on that databases tab. So again, even if you are using something that is a free database like PubMed, if you go in through this database's A to Z link, it will know that you're a SLU affiliate and it will link you to those articles that we're already paying for, or give you the link to how to request via interlibrary loan. So this databases list is one way to do that, to get to those social work specific databases. When you click on that search or browse SLU databases, it will take you to this page that lists all of our databases, and you can limit those just to ones that are social work related. And you'll see once you pull up social work and search, my information will show up on that right-hand side. So if you don't remember, my email or how to get in touch with me, you can go there and get my information. And if you click on Rebecca Hyde there, it'll take you to my page that also has a link to my my appointment page. So you can get to that way as well. Going back to the home page, there's a research guides tab right next to that databases tab. That is where you would go to search for those social work, ABA, CCJ pages that I linked to earlier in the presentation. So you can search social work there, or you can browse research guides by subject to see all of them. Under social work, you'll see there's this general social work guide. That is the place that I recommend starting at the beginning of your journey through this program. That is the most general one that has kind of that general starting social work information. And even though it's general, there's a whole lot on there that might be a little overwhelming, but on this first page, I wanted to just point out this encyclopedia of social work. If you're taking 5750, then you'll hear more about this when I come to class. But if you're not, I really encourage this as a resource early on, that encyclopedia of social work. Whether you are new to the social work profession or not, it can be really helpful in class to look up different topics in there. It's going to give you kind of a big overview of whatever topic it is, either in social work or something that is, might be a general, a more general topic, like, if it's something related to incarceration, right? That's not a specific to social work topic. But in the Encyclopedia of Social Work, you can see how social work is relevant to this topic, how social workers are working in this area. So that can be really useful for that background information, especially if you're new to social work or have not been working in social work. But even if you aren't new, that's really helpful. And then there's just some other kind of intro databases, like places to start on this guide, but I'd encourage you to explore this guide, and we'll talk more about it when I come and speak to your class. Let's see. Oh, and the chat is also on this page, like just as a pullout from the right-hand side. So pretty much every page you go to from the library, it's going to be there. Oh, I did have a slide about interlibrary loans. So again, just remember, don't pay for any of those articles. And that little Find It at SLU icon that's on here, you'll see that in all of the databases, as long as you go through that databases list or from the SLU library pages. And that's how you can request those articles. So that's kind of the introduction that I have for you today. And I just want to reiterate that I'm available as a resource. If you are not in 5750 and you're like, I would really like some more in-depth introduction to the resources that are available to me, please reach out and we can set up a time to meet, or you can just make an appointment on my website on that site without emailing me. So do we have any questions? Okay, I'm not seeing any, but if you have questions later, please reach out in any of those ways that I mentioned. I look forward to working with all of you as you go through the program, and good luck with all your first classes next week.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. All right, we will move right along into our student financial services. Eric, whenever you're ready.
All righty, give me 1 second. There we go. All right, hi everyone. Yeah, so I'm going to go over kind of the basics with student financial services and kind of all your financial aid options as a grad student here at SLU. So let me get going. So it kind of breaks down into 3 different opportunities or types of aid. So we've got scholarships, part-time work, which is going to be like a graduate assistantship or fellowship position on campus, and then finally loans. So let's go ahead and get into that. So scholarships at the graduate level here at SLU, they're all handled by the departments directly. So in School of Social Work, it is Jessica Kilmaid who handles those. She works with our office, communicates, okay, this group of students needs this scholarship, kind of sends us a list anytime we need to post something for students in the School of Social Work. So if you are ever think you're missing a scholarship, you don't see it on there, the first thing we will always suggest that you do is reach out to Jess, because then she can let you know if it has been sent our way. If it has, it can take 7 to 10 business days for our scholarship team to post. So yeah, we always do first ask your department, see if they sent it. If they have, then we can kind of go based off when they sent it. If it is past that 10 business days, please let us know. We'll reach out to our scholarship team to see if there's an update they can give us. Maybe they're just slightly behind on some lists or whatnot, but that's kind of the timeline we work with for scholarships, but everything comes from the department for those. So scholarship questions should first be directed there before coming to our office. Okay, so graduate assistantships or fellowships even. So departments may have assistantship positions available. It's part-time work. It varies in the types of like what kind of work you do and the kind of financial aid awards or compensation that accompanies those opportunities. It really all just depends on the opportunity. Kind of generally what I see when I see assistantships, sometimes they may cover your health insurance. Sometimes it also covers a portion of tuition. Again, it just really depends on the opportunity. For assistantships, it doesn't necessarily have to be within your department. So if you're unable to get one in the School of Social Work, you can look at other departments on campus that may have one. For example, Housing and Res Life has some, maybe the rec has opportunities, but there are departments all across campus that may have opportunities for these. You just got to go out and look for them. Of course, I know this is primarily going to be for on-campus, in-person students. So there may be some assistantship positions where they do allow virtual participation. It's just a matter of reaching out, seeing what those options are. But yeah, and then with fellowships, I don't have a slide for it here, but there are different fellowships. You can look assistantships and fellowships up on SLU's website. If you just look up graduate assistantships, they're both on the same page, and it has a contact for fellowships and the different types of opportunities there. Don't see those ones as frequently, but they are available. So take a moment to check those out when you get a chance. And again, with the assistantships and like the aid associated with it, if you don't see it applied when you're expecting it, first reach out to your department or the department that is that holds the assistantship position to see if they've sent it our way. It's just, again, something that they communicate to us and we just put on to the account. So, okay, so then we can go into loans. So first step, especially for domestic students, is the FAFSA. So by completing, so for this semester, it would be the 24-25 FAFSA, and that would be the same case for the summer. It would also kind of fall into 24-25. At SLU, the summer is a trailer term, where at some schools it's the leading term for a year. So this summer would also be the 24-25 FAFSA. But with the FAFSA, as a grad student, you are typically offered $20,500 in the unsubsidized loan. Federal student aid for grad students is much more straightforward than an undergrad. You may remember from undergrad, there are federal grants, different kinds of loans, anything like that. With graduate students, it is just the unsubsidized loan that you can get from FAFSA. One thing you may need to consider, especially if you have gotten multiple degrees before and you've used a lot of federal aid from FAFSA or loans, you may need to go back and take a look at how much you've borrowed. There is an aggregate limit that students can borrow. And for grad students, that limit is increased up to $138,500. That does not just take into account your graduate loans. It is also taking into account the undergraduate unsubsidized and subsidized. So that is just something you may need to look into if you have used plenty of federal loans for previous degrees that you've gotten. So if you're below that limit, you can expect to be offered this $20,500 for the year. One more thing about the FAFSA, just looking forward to even to next year, so 25-26, the FAFSA is open. So I would suggest doing that as soon as you can, just to get ahead of any issues. There's not really any strict timeline for grad students, since there's not like Pell Grant or anything that has like a priority deadline. So if you just want to get ahead of 25-26, you can get that done now. It is open. Okay, so let's say so you do your FAFSA, you're offered that $20,500. Kind of how that works is the FAFSA will process on the government side. It will then be sent to us. We will then load that into our system and package you. And we'll package that unsubsidized loan for the amount we're able to. So if you're offered the $20,500, to be able to see if it's offered to you yet, in your Banner self-service, you can see down here at the financial aid dashboard. I'm going to go into this here on the next slide, but this is where you're always going to accept your federal loans for us. This is kind of what it looks like in there. Of course, mine's not going to have as much detail because I haven't been a student here for a while. And yeah, it just doesn't pop up for 24-25. So on this offer tab, so the second tab in here, it will kind of break down the entire cost of attendance, all the details you need. And towards the very bottom, it's where you can actually decide on the loan. You can either accept, decline, or modify. If you want the full amount, just accept. If you want a partial amount, you're not needing the full $20,500, you can modify it and type in the amount you want. One thing to keep in mind, if you modify it, these loans will always automatically split 50-50 between the fall and the spring. For this spring, that won't be the case because you guys haven't attended in the fall, so we'll just do it for the spring. But, or it won't let you have any portion for the fall since you weren't enrolled. But in future terms, if you modify it, just know it will automatically split 50-50. All you'll need to do is communicate with us how you want to allocate that if it's different than 50-50. So that typically will need to come in the form of an email. We just need a written request just for record keeping purposes so that we can process those requests. But you'll be able to accept them all on here. So the last two requirements for federal loans, and if you've borrowed maybe an undergrad or previous degrees, this should be familiar. So the master promissory note and loan entrance counseling. These are supposed to last for a while. However, sometimes the system doesn't always pick it up on the government's end. I always just suggest students do it each year just to be safe. Master promissory note is the loan agreement that you're signing on to. It should take less than 5 minutes. Entrance counseling is just like a lesson going over how loans work and anything like that, kind of all the basics. So that may take about 15 to 20 minutes. But yeah, these are the only two last requirements after you accept them. As long as these are done, it just may take a couple of days, but then your loan should be all good to go. Okay, so the next step after the unsubsidized loan. So let's say that the unsubsidized loan alone does not cover your balance. You do have the option to take additional loans, just not the unsubsidized. First option is the next step of a federal loan, which is going to be the Graduate Plus loan, which is also on the FAFSA website. It's on the same spot, which is nice. It has a higher interest rate, but you can borrow up to max, which I'll explain here shortly. Your only other option other than that is private loans. We do have this website. We provide students to compare the lenders we see most frequently. It is by no means an exhaustive list. There are so many different places you can look for loans, whether it's your own bank or other lenders that you may want to check out. Typically, if you can get an interest rate below the 9.08%, do a private loan just for long run to prevent yourself from getting those higher interest payments and whatnot. So let's kind of see where you can find us. So on studentaid.gov, if you go under the loans and grants tab on their main page, you can see right here where the Grad Plus loan application is. And you can see right below it, you can see the master promissory note and loan entrance counseling if you need to do those. Thankfully, they're all kind of right in the same spot. So that's where you would go to apply for that. Let's say let's say it's for this spring. If you're just needing a loan for this spring more than the unsubsidized, how we apply them to your balances always depends on the loan period that you use. So if it's for this spring, use a loan period January 2025 to May 2025. If it's for the summer, do May to August. If it's for the fall, August to December. The only ones that you can do together in the same loan is fall and spring. Summer will always be on its own when it comes to a plus loan. A loan period for fall and spring, for example, this year, August 2024 to May 2025. So our loan team sees those loan periods and determines, okay, they want this for this term. And if you need to make adjustments, you can always send us an email clarifying what you were actually intending to do. Okay, so to quickly go over what I mean by you can max out your plus loan or a private loan. By law, there is only so much aid that we can allow students to receive, whether that's loans, scholarships, grants. It's really how I see it, it's really to help prevent students from overborrowing while they're in school. So here's kind of just an example. You can see here at the top section, this is like an example of a cost of attendance budget. It is a lot of these are averages. So you'll see like living expenses, books and supplies, all these down here. These are averages that we review every 4 years. We'll send out a survey to reevaluate kind of what these average costs are. It's really supposed to take into account any potential costs it takes to attend SLU. The only one that really is adjusted consistently is the tuition, because it just depends on what you're charged, since that's one that we can really see. So let's say, for example, this student received the unsubsidized loan, but also a scholarship. So we can see that the cost of attendance budget, or aid budget, we may say, is $43,300. We can't give more aid than that. So let's say you're already receiving $23,500. If you were to max out a plus loan, you can get approved for $1 million potentially. Like if they approve you for $1 million, that doesn't really mean anything, because we're the ones that are tied down by federal regulation, how much we're able to certify. In this case, we would only be able to certify $19,800 for that loan. So you may see you're approved for more, and if you're certified for less, this is likely why. It's just because, yeah, they're not tied down by law what they have to do. In this case, where we are, we can only do so much. Okay, this is the private loan website that we use to help students. It's very surface level to help you initiate your search for a private loan if you're going that route. There are a couple of really helpful features on here. You can filter whether that is for like GPA requirements. If you need to go less than half time, there are lenders that allow that. You can look for fixed rate interest loans or variable. Bunch of different things you can filter for on there. Let's say you get multiple loan offers, different interest rate. You can use this loan estimator to kind of see how those loans would look differently over time based on the interest rates you're offered. So yeah, very surface level. You can also compare up to 4 at a time. On here, you just would need to click into one of them and you can add it to a compare feature on there. So very surface level to help you get started, but if you're needing these resources, it is very helpful. International students can also find some loan options on here. The loan lenders that we typically see international students use the most is Prodigy Finance and Empower Financing. So those are the ones we see our graduate international students using 99% of the time, but they can also be found on here by going to the international section. I'm going to quickly go through these breakdowns, but there are different cost breakdowns for your program. I'm going to go through multiple, not just MSW. But if you are ever on one of these tracks but you're billed for another, please reach out to Jess to make sure everything can get squared away on this. We're not able to make these adjustments on our end because it's all about the coding from the department side. So if you are actually in the professional or part-time track, but your billed is $12,000, reach out to your department and then they'll communicate with us about changing that. So you can see with MSW here, you could be on the standard track or the advanced, and then there's the foundation or advanced, and then there's a standard track or professional track or part-time. So in the bold here, that would be the advanced. So you're coming in with coursework, you're not here for that whole length of the program. So you can kind of see how those costs break down. Let's see, okay. And then here it is for the ABA program.
Hey, Eric, sorry to cut you off, but we don't have any ABA students or criminal justice students. It's all MSW students, so you can skip through that.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so then we'll move on to kind of billing. Best place to look for billing is in your payment suite. This is in your MySLU portal where all those apps are. So this is where you will make payments, select payment plans. It's the most up-to-date place for billing, whether you want to see if a scholarship has been applied or not, or a loan has dispersed. This is where you're going to see everything. So on here, this is kind of the main page here. If you ever want to look at like your bill right now, or your entire history of bills at SLU, you're going to go to the view activity here, right here. It'll provide chronological, when everything is added, anything is taken off, the entire history of the activity on your account. This is the first place I always tell students to look at their bill. Other key features on here, so authorized users. If you are going to have someone who maybe is helping you out figure this out or may call in on your behalf, you're going to need to add them as an authorized user. Essentially, you just enter their email. It allows them to create their own account. But then they can call in, we can see that they're authorized, and we can speak to them about the details on the account. Because we can't just speak with anyone, just to protect your privacy for your financials. So there's that. The next thing would be electronic refunds. So if you're getting a loan, maybe you're needing a refund to buy maybe outside stuff or like living expenses and whatnot. You can set up an electronic refund method up here at refunds for a direct deposit to a bank account rather than waiting on a refund check in the mail, which can obviously take longer. So I would suggest setting that up if you are anticipating a refund. And yeah, it's pretty simple once you get in there. Okay, so payment plan options. So this obviously says fall 2024, but there are two payment plan options. So there is the enrollment fee plan and the plan with interest. If you have a balance over $5,000, it's typically better to do the enrollment fee plan because the interest will end up being more than $75. So if you have a balance less than $5,000, maybe like after scholarships and whatnot, I would suggest doing the payment plan with interest. But these would break up your balance into 5 different monthly payments, equal monthly payments throughout the semester, January through May. If you set it up in February, it's going to go down to like 4. So it will adjust as we go through the semester. So when you set these up, it's likely now going to require you to set up like payment information or set up a payment method. If you are an international student and you are paying from an international bank, you will need to use Flywire. Flywire is, there is an app for it on your MySLU portal. So you'll be able to find there, and that's how you'll be able to initiate any bank transfer from an international bank. That's the only way that we can do it here at SLU. We can't give away our bank account information. It's all in Flywire. Only other option would be is transferring it to a US bank account that you may have. But of course, it's just going to come up to what fees are better. So then if you set this up, like payment plan up with a payment method, but you're using Flywire, all you'll need to do is reach out to us, and we can work with our student account team to get that fixed for you. There's just no way around it on the front end. We just have to manually go in after. Okay, so there's some general information. We never have late fees in August or January. It's a grace period. We know loans are still processing. We know scholarships may be coming in. So we'll never hold you accountable for, or like charge you extra or penalize you for not making payment in these months. So, and then July, like we will always honor the date on a loan application or a check. So you may have a loan that you've applied for, but it hasn't been certified yet. Just know we're not going to penalize you for that because it's all down to processing time. Okay, so yeah, July and August are our busiest months. So processing and response time is very delayed. This year is an anomaly. We have had unprecedented levels of traffic in our office, all resulting from the whole FAFSA overhaul from this past year. It pushed everything back and we're still recovering. So it's been a crazy year. So our response time is very delayed right now. Typically we like to respond within 2 days, but yeah, so it's a lot longer right now. The quickest way to get an answer is to call or walk into our office at this point. Our emails are very backed up. For example, mine when I got back from break was at 580, got down to 350 on Friday, and now I'm back up to 475 just this week. So we are working as quickly as we can through this, but quickest way to get an answer is to call, especially if it's urgent. Health insurance. So health insurance, full-time students at SLU are required to have health insurance, whether it's the university's provided health insurance or if you have your own outside health insurance. To waive health insurance charges on your account, you need to do that through the health insurance office. If you just go to slu.edu, search health insurance, first page on there will have the instructions for you. It's right there at the top. So, and then any questions about health insurance, go directly to them. We don't control these at all. So it's something that they can only do on their end. Let's see. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about other than contact info is so our hold policy for balances. So at SLU, you will receive like a registration hold if you have a balance over $100, unless you have like arrangements in place to cover that. Our student accounts team just wants to know that there is a plan to cover it one way or another, whether that's a loan, payment plan, anything like that. So if you don't have a plan set up and you get to probably around February here, you will likely see a hold be put on your account. That's only going to affect registration for the next semester, so it's not going to affect anything else at that moment. But to get around that, you'll just need to reach out to us, or on your own, you can figure out a plan to cover your balance. If it's a loan, you can do that on your own. If it's just in your mind how you're planning to do it, you just need to communicate with us, and we'll work with our student accounts team to see what they will want to see, or if they have any clarifying questions and whatnot. So, so just a heads up on that. If you don't have arrangements on to take care of your balance, there will be a hold until you just communicate those with us, and our student accounts team is on board with that. Okay, so our contact info. So you can find us on Navigate. That's how you'll set up appointments with your assigned counselor. We won't have those right now. Again, August, I would say July, August, January are months where we don't have appointments because we're all hands on deck during those busiest times. We're all on the phones, helping with walk-ins into our office. So it's just higher traffic, so we're not able to set up those meetings. But here soon, we'll have those availabilities on Navigate. But if you need the contact info, it is here. One thing that we'll probably change on here is Julie Martin's actually our assistant director here. We just had a counselor switch positions. So this is one that will change. You can email her for now, but eventually that one will change as we get a new counselor here in the office. And we are in DeBerg Hall, room 119. And yeah, so if you're on campus, that's where you can find us. We're in the corner of the building by the church. So finally, here's just kind of our general contacts, our general phone line, and our email. Again, right now, probably avoid emailing us, especially unless it's like documentation that we need. That's obviously we'll need that. And then primarily go to the phone. The virtual office is not active right now. We just kind of have it temporarily down during these busy times. We're not sure when we'll open that back up again, but so really wait, like at that point, if you're needing to meet face to face, but you're not here in St. Louis, then you can set up the EAB Navigate appointments with us once they're available. But for now, use the phone. It's going to be the best way to get your answer the quickest. I know I just went over a ton. Let me see. I think I saw some chats in here. Let's see. Okay, so is it possible to accept the full amount of the loan and allocate that for future semester rather than taking multiple smaller loans? So not really. So because federal loans, they can only apply to the year that they're offered. You can't hold off on a small portion of that to the future. But if you're not using a portion of it for this year, you're still going to have eligibility for that next year, especially for like an unsubsidized loan. So it always just has to stay within the same school year. So fall, spring, summer, 20,500 is set for that from the FAFSA. And then if you're wanting to, one thing you can do, you don't have to accept the full amount. You can accept the partial amount. And then if you end up needing more later on that semester, you can email us to accept more, essentially. And we can increase it up into that 20,500. So yeah, so there's that. Okay, so when it comes to applying for FAFSA, if financial aid is needed for this coming semester, should we be applying for aid with both 24-25 and 25-26? So for this spring and this summer, it's going to be 24-25 FAFSA because summer's a trailer term at SLU. Those will be 24-25. If it's for next fall and next spring, that's 25-26. So you can definitely get ahead and do 25-26 as well, just so it's ready to go when we do get that package for next year, which won't happen until the summer, but you can get ahead of that now. But yeah, so 24-25 for now. Next year, next fall, and further, 25-26. Any graduate assistants has opening to work on the weekends? That's a question I'm not really sure of because they are handled directly by the departments and those specific opportunities. So you'll need to just reach out to those two departments to figure out their options. Yeah.
Reach out to them. I'm sorry.
So different departments have different contacts. So
I'll be your point of contact. Sorry about that. I'll be your point of contact, Alexis, for that question. So it just depends on the professor in terms of the graduate assistantship. So you will work with that professor on the schedule if you are selected as a graduate assistant or a graduate intern. Typically not on weekends, to be honest, just Monday through Friday for a graduate assistant or graduate internship, but it really just depends on the professor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we need to wait for our office or our official financial aid package from SLU before applying for a Grad Plus loans? No. So as long as we'll just need a FAFSA first, since it's a federal loan, they require the FAFSA. So you'll do the FAFSA first, as long as we can see that. And if you've made a decision on your unsubsidized loan, which of course, if you're going to take a plus loan, you're going to want to take the unsub first because of lower interest rate. So as long as we have the FAFSA and your decision on the unsubsidized loan, we'll be able to do the plus loan. You can also get way ahead of it. We'll just wait until we see those things. If we still don't have a FAFSA, you can definitely do it ahead of time, but we just can't, we can't do anything until we see that. Let's see. So to make sure I understand correctly, grants and scholarships are applied and offered automatically. So, so grants, so anything coming from the department, it really just depends on when we get it, and when we can post it. So, yeah, so if it just depends on that timing of when we get it. So, not necessarily automatically. Of course, in the perfect world, we're ahead of it, and we have that ready to go right when we generate a bill, but that just doesn't always happen. So just all depends on that timing of when we receive the info from departments. So, yeah. All right. Any other questions?
Eric, we have to wrap up, but thank you so much for taking time to answer those questions. Eric's contact information is listed, as well as the contacts for SFS. If you need to contact them with follow-up questions, but we have to continue on. But thank you again, Eric, for that presentation. We'll move right into general remarks. I'll turn it back over to Becca.
Alrighty, everyone. How are we doing? Are we hanging in there? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle? We doing okay? All right, good. I just want to say thank you really quickly for hanging with us and listening with all of this information coming at you. I know it's a lot. And I do want to send out a really quick reminder. We sent a survey and an email to you guys. You should have received it twice now. Please don't forget to fill it out and send it back to us. You can just email it right back to me. It lets us know how we're doing. We know that this is a lot of information, but we do know that it is necessary. So we just want to keep improving orientation for the future classes as well, based off of your feedback. I also want to put in a shameless plug to follow us on social media if you're not already. We post in our social media a lot about things that are happening, not only in the School of Social Work, but around SLU as well. There'll be faculty spotlights, student spotlights, upcoming events, anything School of Social Work related will be on our social media. It's a really good way to stay in the know, as well as on like the School of Social Work resources page in Canvas. Following us on social media will basically give you all the same information plus a little bit more. So if you're not already following us on all of these platforms, please do so. And then Danny, I'll hand it over to you before I talk about what's next to come in orientation.
Awesome. Thanks, Becca. You will have a break before you transition it to Christy's room, so just know that you will have a break. But a few quick reminders I wanted to point out is, you've heard it before, but I just cannot stress and reiterate it enough. Please make sure you immerse yourself in your grad school journey. Make sure you enjoy yourself and make sure you have a good time while you're in grad school. Grad school can definitely be stressful, but make sure you take time out to really make it an enjoyable experience. And one way to do that is by getting to know each other. So really quickly, your cohort is about 30 students for this incoming spring class. Does anyone want to volunteer to take the lead to create a group chat? I will leave that up to you guys, but I think it's really, it would be great to have a group chat for you guys, just for you students to communicate with each other. You all are MSW students. So would anyone like to volunteer to create the group chat for your spring cohort? Feel free to unmute yourself if you want to do it. Any takers?
I don't mind.
Okay.
Is that Shakita? Did you volunteer?
I was gonna volunteer. I could put my number in chat and everyone could text me, or if there's a different platform you wanted to use, like WhatsApp, so if people who don't live in the US can join as well without
So Shakita, thank you for volunteering. Shakita, if you wouldn't mind, in the group chat, in our chat right now, put your email address and your phone number. If you want to be a part of this spring cohort group chat, contact Shakita and she'll get you added. So thank you for doing that. I think that will be critical to getting everyone connected, since it's such a small cohort for the spring. So thank you for doing that. I wanted to remind students as well, you are now Billikens, right? Especially if you're local, make sure you support go to the sports games, go to the basketball, soccer games or whatever. You are a Billiken now, you represent SLU. So make sure you take time out in addition to your studies, come to campus, go to a game. Also remember, it's important that you will get back what you put in. So as you prepare to start for classes, you should already be thinking about what days each week you're going to set aside for grad school. If you have not made that plan yet, you're already behind. So take time out before you actually start your first class and think about your schedule now and dedicate specific hours and dates each week that you're going to take time to dedicate to grad school. That is critical to your success. Grad school will be one of your top priorities over the next year or two. So treat it as such. Don't treat it as an afterthought. Don't start working on your work before class. Take time each week and dedicate certain days to your grad school studies. Make sure you're on time to class. So if you're in person or even if you have a class that meets via Zoom, make sure you're on time. Punctual is important. If you're going to be late for whatever reason, we know life happens, make sure you communicate that to your professors. If you're going to be absent, make sure you communicate to your professors, but make sure you are present for class. The first class that you'll be expected to work. So make sure you're prepared. Don't come in thinking that it's the first day of class and we're not gonna be there for the entire class. Come prepared your first day of class. Aside from that, be mindful of how you conduct yourself, because we are always getting opportunities sent to us via email from outside employers, from different people with scholarships or whatnot. And a lot of times they may not want us to share it with everyone. They may say, hey, do you have 2 or 3 students top of mind that you can refer? Make sure you're always keeping your image positive. And I say that because I cannot stress that enough. Be mindful of how you're interacting with your professors, with staff, and with your fellow classmates. So just be very mindful of that. I wanted to reiterate that because we get so many opportunities all the time and we can't always share with everyone. They only want us to refer maybe a couple of people. So be mindful of that. And again, just wanted to, can't say it enough, check your SLU emails, make sure you're reading NewsLink. A lot of great information is shared through NewsLink. A lot of events that are happening are shared through NewsLink. So make sure you're reading that when it's sent via email. Again, as a reminder from the admissions office, you'll get one final email from us, which will have the information about the university resources. We'll also share with you about how to set up your school's signature. That will be probably one of your first homework assignments before you start classes, is to set up your school's signature. That way, when you are emailing professors or staff, whatever, you need to have a professional signature when you're doing that. And part of your signature will include your banner ID. So if you don't know your banner ID or your SLU credentials, take a picture of it now before classes start, because you'll need that information pretty frequently whenever you're communicating with different departments on campus. So my advice, take a picture of your SLU credentials. Aside from that, I've emailed all admitted students about the graduate assistantship, graduate internship, and DOOR fellowship application. Is open now. So make sure you apply if you're interested by March 1st, but that application is open now. If you are interested, apply by March 1st. And finally, we're so delighted to have all of you. You guys are basically going to be stellar students, we already know, but we're also heavily recruiting right now for fall 2025. So if you have a friend, family, or colleague that wants to pursue a master's degree in social work and applied behavior analysis or criminology, criminal justice, please send them my way. This is a great way to help build your class and future SLU students. So anyone that you refer our way who applies, I will definitely be happy to give you some more SLU swag. So just keep that in mind. But those are my reminders. I know we're running really behind. I would say after Becca closes us out, You're going to transition to Christy's room. Please be in Christy's room by, I would say, 12:32. Make sure you guys have a nice break to use the restroom or whatever, but please be in Christy's room by 12:32. Becca, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. So after this break, you're going to be moving into your MSW program overview that is in Professor Christy Richter's Zoom room. I am posting it in the chat. After that, you'll then go to the MSW practicum session with Dr. Wendy Ducasse. Again, I'll post her room in the chat. Once that is over, then you'll move into your concentration sessions. And each individual room will have its own link again in the chat. Some of these times may and probably will differ since we are running so far behind. But just know that we will be hopping into the rooms, giving 5-minute warnings, letting you know when it'll be time to switch over. So I'm gonna post those links in the chat now, and you are free to go on your break.